try to understand what religion actually is instead of using it as a weapon of destroying people. And the greatest causer of destruction, basically on earth in modern warfare, has been religion. And this is something that we have to think about. Why? Why is it that religion does it? What does Christianity teach? Turn your other cheek. What does Islam teach? You love for your brother what you love for yourself. And Sheikh Hamza and all these sheikhs have elaborated. Even Sheikh Abdullah bin Bayat, Sheikh Habib al-Jifri have elaborated that hadith, you love for your brother what you love for yourself, does not mean you just love for your brother or Muslim, but rather your brother of humanity. You love for your brother of humanity what you love for yourself. These statements are projected in our faith, and yet it seems to be that these rudimentary, or these actually the crux of our faith, seems to be ignored, and then we cause havoc and destruction. Why is it that the neocons or so on don't take into consideration turning your other cheek? And you know that the importance of peace on earth. Why is it that we have groups in the Muslim world that do not understand that you love for your brother what you love for yourself? You know, these are something that we as human beings need to start considering. So, and now I'm going back to the Muslim issue, is that I find a lot of the problems is that we have the arrogance to, I guess, judge who is a Muslim and who is not. And that is something that we don't have the right to. I was listening to a sheikh, his name is Sheikh Makki Hijazi, and he was giving a lecture, and he said the scholars have been given the information on what a non-Muslim is, but they don't have the right of declaring someone to be a non-Muslim. So doing takfir, as we see today, of saying someone is Muslim or someone is not, no human being has that right. No human being has that right. Prophet Muhammad said himself that he who prays facing the Qibla and eats halal food is a Muslim. That's it. Obviously, you believe in La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. After that, you don't add on Mirza Ghulam, or you don't add on that Hazrat Ali takes precedence, or this and that. You just say La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu. That's it. And if you face the Qibla and you eat halal food, you're a Muslim. That's it. That's the criteria of it. So in this modern day world, why is this carnage happening? Why aren't we understanding these things? These are just random reflections that I think as Muslims we have to understand. Even within our own community, I mean, there's obviously within, we talk about divides, there's obviously a creedal divides within the community which causes dissension. And that is something that we have to understand. At the conference, the scholars were talking about even the Sunni Shia, and they spoke about the importance of the Shia contribution to Islam. That Shia's contribution to Islam is significant. And this is something I spoke about a long time ago as well, but I mean something for us as Muslims to understand that even though there wasn't any Shia representation, I'm sure there were Shias there present, I don't even think there's a Shia scholar, but the Sunni scholars who were on the stage made sure that the Shia, there was some Shia representation in saying that as Sunnis, we recognize the importance of the Shia contribution and that they are our brothers of faith. Simple as that. And I think that's profound. Yet when we go back home and we see a lot of dissension that's taking place, why does it happen? Taking a life of another individual is because, you know, we don't consider them Muslim or they're inferior to us. And I just find that to be so detrimental to the cause of Islam and the cause of humanity. I'm obviously focusing on Islam, but obviously Christianity has its issues, Buddhism has its issues. Don't even think that the only religion, I'll say the best religion that has the best PR is Buddhism. The second or third most deadly wars that have taken place have been Buddhist wars. The most havoc in this current century that's taken place has been taken place through Christianity, through Christian wars. Not Christianity, because Christianity doesn't condone it. Christians who have taken place. And same with Buddhism. And right now Muslims are on the forefront. It's not Islam that is actually condoning this. It's Muslims who are doing these heinous acts, which are affecting Islam. And I know Imam Zaid Shakir said that, you know, I don't buy this, that, you know, that we separate that, well, Muslims are doing this, but Islam doesn't condone it. It's like saying that I have the remedy, but I don't want to take the pill. You know, and he goes like that. There's an issue, and I agree with that as well. That there is an issue with that when we try to say that, well, Islam does not condone that, but Muslims are doing this, because at the end of the day, Muslims are still representative of Islam. Each individual is an ambassador of our faith, and that's the reality of being a Muslim. All of us are da'i. All of us have the shoulder of presenting Islam and being an embodiment and representative of what Islam is. Each individual does who is a Muslim, right? And each individual as humanity or of other faiths have that responsibility of representing their faith. And what they represent it as is what the world will perceive it to be. I mean, it's as simple as that, right? We think that we need a popal figure that will, or a khalifa, that will present this, thing and will look to him. But you know what? The khalifa's position, even if it was there or not, that does not mean that those responsibilities of presenting a proper identity of Islam does not rest on our shoulders. So that was just one thing that I thought of, that came to my mind. And even when it comes to global warming or these issues, Sheikh Abdullah bin Bay'a, which I thought was a beautiful statement, he says in the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that do not sow seeds of corruption upon this earth. He said that cutting down a tree without even using it is sowing corruption upon this earth. So if you cut down a tree just for the sake of cutting it down and you do not utilize it, that on its own nature is sowing corruption on this earth, because you're destroying the earth. You're taking away the tree which gives us oxygen, and that is sowing corruption upon this earth. So he spoke about the issues of climate change and the issue of global warming from an Islamic perspective, and it was phenomenal. I mean, this whole thing is that our contribution to humanity and to the world at large is not just limited to ourselves, but rather how we interact with our environments and how we deal with the environment. And the environment has a right over us as being caretakers of this world, and we have rights to fulfill for it as well. And I just thought that was very, I thought that was very beautiful. I mean, it's such a simple verse, and we just think that corruption meaning, bribery, killing people, doing this and that. But no, corruption also means of destroying the earth without a cause, taking out a tree without its use, cutting down things or destroying areas, poisoning lakes, doing things like that without a cause. And even if there's a cause, we're not supposed to poison things like that. And these are things that we're supposed to think of as human beings, and first and foremost as a Muslim, because I'm giving a Muslim perspective of this. And these are something that we should, as Muslims, be cognizant of. I mean, I remember I was working at a firm in downtown, and it was an accounting firm, like roughly around 85 people. And I remember I emailed our controller. His name was Eugene. And let me tell you, I don't know how it's in law firms and stuff, but in accounting firms, I swear to God, the wastage of paper is ridiculous. And I know it seems insignificant that, Momin's talking about, I swear I'm not lying to you. Like, I mean, just there's no regard. Like, there's no regard whatsoever. I remember I emailed him. I said, Eugene, like, what are we doing? Like,